Welcome to Market Vibes weekly update. As you can see, the whole market is still showing green. So obviously there is not much to do, right? However, I wanted to go through a few things. So I had some questions about hey, for example, in crypto, like it's showing Bitcoin, Ethereum. So what does it translate to if I want to use, your web application? Or if you're interested in US indexes, how should you use it, right? So I just, ran a simple query on ChatGPT to kind of you can take a snapshot of this when you see this video. But basically, if you're a Bitcoin, you can use ETF without any leverage. On our portfolio, we are actually using 2x ETF leverage. And I mentioned that this is to prove a point, which is even if you use leverage using this product, it's still safe. So for me, I need to prove a point by sort of live trades using the system, right? But this is a good way to figure out so for example, if you're on Bitcoin, you can directly buy Bitcoin or you can buy ETF. If you want to go leverage, you can use 2x ETF, same with Ethereum, and so on for Nasdaq, S&P, Dow Jones, and US small caps, right? You can take any of these ETFs or 2x ETF and what you're doing. So let's just say if you're starting today, you just see, hey, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those things are green. You can just buy, right? And when it turns red, you just basically sell. It's as simple as that. We only added, so I just want to quickly give the update of the portfolio. So obviously we didn't have to do any, selling. I added some positions on Dow Jones. So my goal is basically to move out of the riskier assets and get into more stable assets. What I mean by that is obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum are, very volatile and, they move violently. They have been bullish for such a long time. So ideally, I want to make money from those and go into more stable American indexes and so on, right? However, as we've been discussing, Ethereum is one of our biggest position because it's been very bullish since it found the bottom, and we can see it on the chart. If I open this around the tariff, madness, we got a good signal of 100 score, and since it's been rallying, there was one scare here where it showed red, but other than that, it's been pretty damn bullish, right? Now, one thing you can notice is the score has been stuck at 71. The reason behind that, it's been just super bullish. It's been going up and up and up. That basically means that the store, as long as we find bullish momentum, this is going to continue to probably show 71 unless the price starts, going sideways. What I mean by sideways, so let's open up this. If we go here, if it starts chopping around like this somewhere over here, then this might just cool off if it still continues to have the bullish momentum, right? But any drop, this is going to just turn red because we have been going up for a while, right? So that just keep in mind that there might be some volatility because of that. For now, it's still showing green. And I think in the last video, we discussed what's happening here. So if I open up this chart, I think this is the resistance level, which is around 4,100. This is going to be the first challenge. But overall, it seems like this is going to break through. The reason behind it is very simple. This is the first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, three times it failed, right? It made a lower low. This is called a spring effect. Basically, just skyrocketed, making everyone feel this is just going to go down, but it just reverses. This is how market makers take your money, right? So you need a tool like Market Vibes that give you great signal to just get in and get out of the market, right? However, if you're not day trading, this is more or less 7 to 8 trades as we've been talking per asset. So if you're trading Ethereum, around 8 times in a year will be day trading. So think of taking one decision per month, right? For example, since we started, I think this is the sixth or seventh week since we started, building the Market Vibes portfolio. And I think Ethereum was one time, sell, as well as Russell. and as well as Dow Jones. So there's only one time we had to take that decision. And then I think immediately we had to get back in because it turned green again, right? This was around the time Israel and Iran conflict was going on and there was some madness going on. Around that time, it just like, popped on and off. Other than that, Bitcoin is also showing bullish, right now. And I think it's consolidating above this, resistance line. It's also above this bigger resistance that it formed like in 4 years. These are like very bullish, sort of times for these assets. Also, we are waiting for the rate cuts in the United States, which should fuel more fire into this. However, higher it goes, more careful you have to be. So anything could happen from this time onwards, and we are carefully watching what market vibes is going to show us, right? Similarly, still bullish momentum for US stocks. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, majority of US indexes rely on the big companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and so on. Uh, Three of the big earnings already happened, which is like Netflix, uh, Google, and Tesla. And they were okay. It's not like, it's end of the world. However, this week, there's going to be like more earnings and which may decide a temporary direction of the market. If it shows extreme weakness and projection, maybe we just have a cool off, right? So this may all go red. So we have to be prepared for those kind of things. If not, this might be like slow grind higher, maybe we have a dip because we are like long due for a dip. If you just think of how long this market has been going up, it's absolutely crazy. So if I open up the US indexes, and we open Nasdaq, I mean, we have been going up like since April. The whole market has gone up like 43%. This is not normal, right? Like the whole market doesn't go up 43% in such a short time. So there might be some cool off. It's expected. Generally, in this kind of setup, once we cross a resistance, we normally come back, retest, maybe even go a little bit lower to confuse a lot of people, and then continue momentum upward. Normally, December, what they call like the Santa rally, and that just kind of like has some bullish momentum and so on. There's also rate cuts, coming most likely some couple of times this year, which should also, fuel the rally as well. Also, we have been talking about this, but Russell is the biggest bet that I'm going to have because with rate cuts and this resistance being flooded for 4 years, just like what happened to Bitcoin, right? This might happen the same thing, and this could have like around 50% upside from here, right? So if you use 2x ETF, you can actually double your money. So that's what we are targeting. Portfolio looks pretty solid. Of course, like this is hyper volatile. We are almost like 30% up now. But I expect volatility, so this is going to be choppy. But my hope is with the bullish momentum in Ethereum, when we can figure out like a solid profit on Ethereum 2x ETF, and this is going to be the biggest two trades, Ethereum and the Russell UWM index, right? So keep in mind, like these are the ETFs that you could trade, using MarketVibes.ai. I don't see anything else, and this is the beauty of the software that you're basically focused on like the green and red color. You come, you see if nothing has changed. There's nothing to do, right? You can build other positions. So, for example, we added a small position on Dow Jones because I want to keep building the Dow Jones position. And I'm hopefully waiting for like some sort of cool off and Nasdaq and S&P. And the goal is to rotate from crypto because crypto is being heated, right? And like get that cash and put it into stable assets and then wait for crypto to like really cool down. So like that's my personal investment style. I want to be in like less riskier stuff when everything is just like really going crazy. It seems like, right now we are fine. So we are still in Ethereum and Bitcoin both. But hopefully by either this year or next year, we exit out of this, either stay in cash, depending on what market vibes is showing, or go into this indexes. And keep in mind, it's a waiting game, right? So like, we have discussed about like the historical returns. They get much better for a longer period, and that's what I'm targeting, right? So I don't want to chase pennies. There might be some choppy periods where you're actually going to be losing money, obviously, because the trades are going to be like, oh, it's 5% up and 10% down, right? And then you basically, because on your leverage, you lose some money. That's okay. The point is to win in the longer run. So I am targeting, if I'm investing in 3 years, can I, risky asset make, 552%? That's solid to me, right? And that's what the goal is. Let's see how it goes. Thank you for watching. I just have to say again one more time that nothing here is financial advice. I'm using this software to do certain things. You do you. Hopefully you follow us. I'll put the links in the description. See you next time.